All right, so time has come to disassemble this this cab here, so I can get rid of it and this unsightly thing off my property. I already took the seats out. So there are 4 bolts per seat. You got one there, one there, one there, one there on both sides. The center console is bolted to the 4 seats. It'd be 2 nuts here, and then 2 nuts there, and then 2 there, and 2 there. So I find the easiest way to get these seats out, I actually just took the bottom bolts out, and then I walked them out that door with some help. But if you're doing it by yourself, you take these bolts out. There is one connector right here underneath the driver's seat. There might be a second one under the passenger seat. I think it's actually connected over if you've got a power passenger seat. But I find an easy way to take this out is to undo the 4 bolts and then just tip the seat backwards so they're kind of like flipped up, and then you could take the bolts off or the nuts off the bottom. Then you just take it out in pieces, and it works pretty good. The rear, obviously, I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4. It was a split seat, so there was 4 bolts for the split seat, and then 1 bolt in the middle that holds the seat belt that runs through it. And the same thing over here. There was 4 bolts over here on the smaller seat as well. So this thing looks kind of gross in here looking at it. I don't necessarily want to get inside, but I guess kind of have to. When I bought it, there was a bottle of oil. I don't believe it was this bottle, but there was a bottle of oil back here, and because it was tipped downhill and like this, it ran down along. So all this like stuff here, that's actually oil. So I'm gonna try to stay out of that. But so I'm gonna pull the dash out and the steering column out. I'll have to kind of clean it all up. First thing to come out is the steering column. If you were going to do this and remove just the dash, like if you need to take the dash out, you don't have to take the steering column all the way out. You can just let it down on the seat. So you're gonna have a nut here, another one there, and then you're gonna have 2 of them over there. So like I say, if you were just pulling the dash out, you could unbolt this and just let it down. You might have to take the wiring out if you were just trying to take it out or take the dash out. But I need to undo the wiring because it's in part of the main harness to get the steering column out. I do believe that there are some Torx bolts there. There's one right here. I don't know what size it is. We'll figure it out. That one fits. It's a 20. It might be a 25. I don't know. This one fits in there. So I'm gonna go with that. So I'm gonna pull this out. You gotta pull this off somehow. No, there it goes. Comes forward. So you pull it off that way. So I'm gonna get this off, and I'm gonna get these wires unplugged, and then we'll keep moving our way down. This is a manual. I don't know what this plug's for, but it wasn't used for anything, and it was popped into that little bracket there. So I pulled that down, got those 2 tabs off. Imagine this is the steering, the airbag, and the wheel controls. There's another little tab there that I pull down. So we will pull these off. Those are down. There were three screws in this. They're all T20, but there was one there in the corner, right there, and then there was 2 there. So a little more than the one that I thought. So we got them down. I gotta get the this plug off. It's got a little safety doodad in there. Pulled to the side. I don't know how it comes off. I gotta figure it out, but anyway, we got to pull that harness off, and then we should be pretty close to being done. We got one that runs up over the top. That is part of it. So we got this guy up here. Goes to the multifunction switch. We got to get off. Out. That's out. So came in here with a screwdriver and I just got onto that white plastic piece and it slid up. So imagine that goes up to unlock it, and then I'll just slide it back maybe, and maybe it keeps going. Yeah, so I'd probably pull it up as you push back on it. I'm not gonna be able to do it with one hand though. Alright, so there's a bolt down there on the bottom of the shaft that I removed. It's 13mm to separate the two shafts from each other. So I think it's just gonna make it easier for me to get it out. So that's why I'm doing that. So we got this off. That was how you do it. You just kind of pull this up as you pull it off, and it should be good. So I'm gonna take this bottom knee bolster off, or whatever, this cover, and then this bracket. You can use a Phillips screwdriver or a 7mm. I didn't bring a Phillips screwdriver out for some reason, so I'm going to use a 7mm. There's that. I'll take this off. Push that through, unhook this. Let's do that. We got that down. This was the bracket that I took the bolt out. Get that lower shaft disconnected. So I take the 4 bolts down here, or 4 nuts down here. These are going to be probably 13mm too. One nut. Two nuts. 3 nuts, and so on this bracket here, there's the brake switch. That out. So I think should be able to set to get this column out now. Alright, so we gotta start taking the dash out. So this upper trim piece here, this has to come out. Depending on where you live, it might not come out in one piece. I actually got real lucky with this one. So I came in here and there are a bunch of these little, oh, I had a casualty. That was just one. A bunch of these little plastic tabs. On this front edge here, or this back edge here, they all go straight down. On the front edge there, they go in. So I came along here and I popped all these out. I just went along it with a screwdriver, or you can use a door like trim tool and pop them all up. And then I kind of just grabbed it here and ripped it back. And it looks like I only lost one out of all of them, which is right there. I might still get it out and maybe glue it back on or something, but I'm actually really surprised it came out in one piece. Part of me thinks it was a replacement because the dash is no longer in one piece. I will be changing this dash. I do have another dash for it, so if you want to see how to do that, I will end up changing that as well, this top section, because I got a big crack here and another split there and over there. So like I said, I'll be changing that out. So we got to unhook this wiring here. If you have a 3500 or a 20 or summer cap with roof lights, you're gonna have another plug over there that goes to the roof lights. You unplug that. You do have to take these the handrail guards over there, or the covers, off. It's two 10mm screws that go into those holes there on each side. Then you pull them off. So up here, oh, it looks like I might have broken another little piece, the little alignment thing. Yeah, whatever, is what it is. So up here we got some screws. We got one there, one there, one there, another couple over there. But basically you've got a few along this front edge here. We got to pull those out, and then that'll undo the top part. So once you get those out, you've got two down here, you got one there, you got one there. On the heater box underneath, right there, underneath the glove compartment, there's another one you got to take out. Then there will be some more behind here. That off, and you will have one, two. You got to take this piece of section off here. It's two screws there, and it actually comes down into this brake thing. I believe there might be two more underneath down here, maybe. It goes up like this. You're gonna just twist it down and then pop it out, and it's loose. And then there'll be another one down there that you need to get at. It's right here. So like I say, we're gonna do that. We do have some, I take this bottom trim piece off. I kind of like this thing. Actually works pretty well. So we're gonna take this trim piece off, get it off the floor. Getting dark on me. So that screw under here you didn't need to do. So you got these hooks underneath the bottom, and then these two screws. So just take those two screws out, and then you unhook it, and then it comes out over there. So here's that other screw, the bolt you got to take out there. It's gonna be the same thing on the other side. There's gonna be some plugs that you got to take out over there. I'll show you. Down here you have that big bolt in the middle there, right there. That's going to come out. That'll pull this whole plug off, and you probably got to take that plug off too, and get that off. This one up here was for the brake controller, so I pulled that off. And any other wiring that might be connected, I think that's it. We already unhooked the rod here that goes to the parking brake, so we got to unhook all them. Say these three screws, the ones along the top. I'll show you what you got over on the other side. This side's basically the same deal. This side the same deal. I'm gonna pull this off, and there's gonna be 3 bolts, or two bolts there, and then there's gonna be one right there, and then you gotta undo the plugs here. I think you got 2 plugs or something there. So you're gonna do this plug and that plug, and I think that's it. I mean, there might be another one, but you can pull them out. Obviously, take this trim piece off so you can get at it, this lower section, and once you get all them out, the dash will just come right out. So I'm gonna get all that stuff taken out, and then we'll come back to pull the dash out. It's hooked. It's hooked, so you gotta like lift it up and pull it out. Tip it a little bit. Tip it? Hold on a second. Pull it up. Pull out this plug. Okay, let's walk it out. So, I forgot to mention, there's 2 screws that come up there, right there. They come up into the bottom of the dash, and then the airbag module right there. You get that plug off, and then you should be good. And it goes out just like that. Now, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws across the top there. So we gotta pull these front face panels off here. This one. We gotta pull the airbag out. We gotta pull the instrument cluster out so we can get at the screws that are all along the front edge there. And then there's some other ones up underneath. We have to basically flip it upside down to get a couple of them out. Pull that off. There was a screw there that's not there, so. So you do have to take 2 screws out here, pop this off, a couple of tabs. Don't think you need to take the instrument cluster out. No. There's that. Let's go over here. We're gonna take the glove box off. Throw away all the mouse crap that was in there. I wonder what was on this. Probably an accident. I think the part that stinks is to get the airbag out. You gotta take like a lot of this plastic apart. like one of those things that just keeps going and it goes forever. Four of them. That comes out, so you had 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts to hold this in. That's off. So I got these screws on the outside, and then underneath where the vents are that come up through, there's going to be a screw, I believe, on each one of those too that hold this down as well. That's them on the front. Move that out of here. That off. So you're gonna have a screw there, another one there, another one there, and another one there. Now there's gonna be some on the top as well. Flip this back up. And then we'll take this one, that one, that one, and that one out, and I believe that'll be the end of them, and it should come off. is that? So I'm gonna start cleaning this stuff up before I put it back together. Alright, so let's start sticking this back together. I had to do some swapping around some ducts and stuff and change it from the other dash I had, just because some of it was, I think these ducts were cleaner than the other ones. So I swapped them back ones over. So we'll put the top on. Take this back off. I don't know why it won't go on. There we go. Minutes later. So this connector for some reason is missing the backing, and it's kind of not put together right. I don't know if I pulled it when I was taking it out, because I did pull on a little bit, but I mean it's missing the back and that didn't come off, so I'm gonna have to repin this plug. I'm gonna take the other plug that I have and just replace all these, because some of these little tabs in here were bent. Unless I can fix this one, but anyway, that's kind of what I got to do. So I mean, it's all back together. Say this top ain't much better than the one that was on there, except for the giant cracks in it. It's getting pretty brittle too. I think I got a small crack right there, so I got to be really careful with it. Probably just gonna put a carpet over it anyway, but at least it's not all busted to pieces. Not like this guy. So I gotta throw all this stuff away. Oops, I forgot this piece. Get that piece back in there. Then our dash is back together. Yeah, so I mean, basically everything is the reverse of taking it apart. Not a super great video, but at least it kind of gives you a bit of an idea on what you need to do to get that top off. So I mean, to recap, you gotta take this off. If you got a cup holder, take the cup holder off. Then pull this off, got the plugs behind there, pull that off, got the plugs behind there. You got the screw holes on the top that hold the ducts in. You got the screws that hold the top to the frame. You did have two more in there that ended up breaking when I took this apart initially. So like I said, you're gonna take all the screws around the outside off. You got the 4 bolts underneath the airbag that hold the bottom of the airbag, then the bolts around the airbag that come off. And then you got to take, like I said, this whole shroud here off to get the airbag off, because there's some screws behind there and underneath there. So that's that. Once you get that off, in the back you do have 2 tubes in the back that go to these, not these end ducts here, but the corner ones for the defrost. Those slip into it, into the back of the trough there, so you got to be careful of them. I did find it easier to get the top on by taking the defrost duct off. There's one screw like there and one screw there, and then another one inside of the big box that goes up. I can probably show you on this. So you're gonna have a screw inside there, and then you had one there that held this to the dash, and then you had the one on each that held that to the top right there. Yeah, basically back together. So anyway, like I say, that's how you pull the dash out and change the dash top. I mean, you could see how I'm faded here right there to this. So I mean, this probably doesn't have a ton of life left in it on its own, but I'll worry about it when it's a bigger problem. I can always just pull the dash back out. It literally takes about an hour to pull the dash out, so it's nothing real severe or significant. So anyway, I'll put this back in, and hope that can help somebody, and thanks for watching.